Hello and welcome to my latest video. Today I wanted to try and do some resin coasters with galaxy theme. So what I've done off camera is prepare some coasters. I had these black ones which are just tiles from the local hardware store. So I had some black ones which I painted with starfields. Well, you know, white paint to represent starfields. And on the back I've prepped them by just putting some scotch tape so that when the resin leaks I don't have to sand it off the bottom later. I can just peel the tape off and it will come off beautifully. So to make the galaxy, I've gone with the bog standard colours. So you've got pink, which was this pink mica powder, blue, purple, and of course you must have glitter. So I've used this glitter for more stars. And not put in resin already because I'll just squirt it on the top is this Panata Rich Gold alcohol ink, which I'll do at the last minute because we don't want to put a flame over the alcohol ink. Alrighty, now this is the first time I've attempted this. Let's see how it all goes. Actually, for a first time, I'm relatively happy with how it's going. I think I would have liked to made a few more clear spaces like that here, so I could have put the just like the glitter resin in it. I'm sure I can scrape it off and make some, but like it's visible in a few of the spots. I might not need to use the actual gold alcohol ink because the blue resin itself seems to have, I don't know if you can quite see that, a bit of a gold tinge to it. So when I'm hot blowing it around, it's bringing that goldish look to it. I mean, I'm not too unpleased with it for a first attempt. Obviously I want to just dip my finger in some resin and rub it around the sides here of the coasters to make sure they're fully coated. Like so, and always make sure it's a gloved finger because we should always use gloves with resin. But I'm quite happy with them for a first attempt, and I do apologise if that previous bit of talking was out of focus. It looked like it was on focus, but I just hit the button and I think it wasn't. So there they are. They're my first attempt. I do have another 4 ready to go, and I'll try to see if I can get a separate look. So these I'll put aside to set, and we'll start on the other 4. Okay, so here are the next 4. Now the first 4 tended to be a bit heavy on the pink, so I might try and do this one a bit more blue. So we've got the blue here, which also has the bit of gold in it, so we'll see how that comes out. This time I'm not going to drizzle it on, I'm just going to pour it on like I did towards the end of the first lot. Yeah, you can definitely see the gold in there. So I haven't put the pretty sparkles in here. Whoop, we've had a collapse. I am just using cupcake holders, so I'm not surprised. There we go. So I haven't put the glitter in yet, so let's just, this time I will just sort of sprinkle the glitter and then use the heat gun again to mix it around. Hopefully this will clear out maybe some of that gold that I'm not, I mean it's alright, but I'm not too happy with it. Have a quick check to make sure that there's no holes I've created or missed. Again, not too bad for a first attempt. I think there's definitely techniques I need to practice to make them look a bit more not so covered. I don't know, there are other galaxies I see where they seem to just concentrate, like there's a little bit of galaxy there or a little bit of galaxy there. Mine are a whole galaxy on a coaster. I mean, I like the look. The colours are definitely, they pop. I'm just not going to use that blue again because it's come out way too gold for a blue. So I'll have to try a different blue mica powder next time. But I do like the shimmer, I do like the overall appearance. So we'll just set these to dry and we'll come back when they've all 8 have dried and we'll see what the final result is. See you soon. Alrighty, it's been a good 12 hours since I made the coasters and let's have a look how they turned out. Nice and reflective, you can see the camera. So I'll put them that way a bit. So I'm actually really like the way they came out once they set. As I said, no gold. That gold came from the blue, which is interesting. But I think they overall came out really, really good. So I'm actually happy with my first attempt at what would be described more as a nebula as opposed to a galaxy. They're nice and smooth too, so I don't need to do another coat to keep them even. They actually, great thing with resin, it is self-leveling unless there's something majorly wrong, but these are all self-leveled beautifully. So one thing I didn't do when I poured the resin was do the flame to get rid of any bubbles. So they have set, some of them have set with a lot of bubbles, but you know, under the surface it's still very flat, and I actually like that look. I'm not too disappointed or heartbroken by that. I actually think it looks quite good. I think it adds to this spacey texture. That could be little meteorites or something. Here's another one that it happened to. Again, really smooth on the surface, but just underneath that is all these bubbles. But again, I think it adds to the overall aesthetic of the piece. So I'm not too disheartened with that. And as I was explaining earlier, I do the scotch tape on the bottom so that now all of the resin is dry. I just have to find the edge of the scotch tape and it peels off beautifully if you've got more coordination than me. Here's, let me just grab a knife to help. Here we go. I love getting nails done because you know, it stops me picking them, but I also find them blunt and a bit useless to do any other thing with. So you need a sharp knife. And I will finish, oh, how beautiful is that? I will finish these off with a piece of felt on the bottom later. We'll let the resin dry another. It's dry, but I like to let it set for about 48 hours before I do anything to the bottom. But as you see, no bumps to have to file off. It's beautiful. They'll be ready to go once the felt's on the bottom. So yeah, I'm really happy with the first attempt.